Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Chobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm glad that spring is truly here and headed for summer. You know it's getting close to summer when gas prices keep shooting up, so you know Memorial Weekend is not that far away. And of course, the NFL. Wow. I know the NFL is only 18 weeks of the regular season and then the weeks of the playoffs, but football has really gotten to be year round. Remember when a few years back when they were talking about concussions and all that, and how they said it was the beginning of the end of football, that football was going to lose its dominance? Boy, were they right about that one, weren't they? Football, it's insane. Football, when you look at the most viewed programs last year, majority of the top 20 were all NFL games. The NFL literally has taken over a week just to release the schedule. You know, they released 5 games last week for the international games all week from every single morning show. They've teased us with games. Not only that, they turned out, oh, we're going to give you the home openers. Home openers. You know, we found out that the Cowboys are going to be playing at Tampa Bay, their season opener, 2 years in a row. We found out, yesterday that we're going to be playing the Green Bay Packers November 13th. We found out in the middle of the day that we were going to be playing the Giants week 3 and for Thanksgiving. We heard kind of later in the day that the Cowboys are going to be playing against the Washington football team the last week of the season, which really bums me the hell out. It really bums me out because the season may be over. There may be nothing to play for. Our starters may be sitting, possibly, or maybe it's for everything. But it's January. It's going to be cold in what might be a meaningless game. Why can't I have, like, Washington, the middle of the season when the weather's nice? Last year was so nice. In fact, Joe from the Washington football team, he called me this morning. Hey, buddy, you know what? Your schedule releases today. We can get your team, get you hooked up in the same section again. Good prices and everything else. Why don't we start working? Because those tickets going to go fast. Not in week 18. Not unless Washington is playing really, really good, or both teams are playing really, really good. I just seriously, that may end up being a meaningless game. So, looking at the schedule, looking at the Eagles' schedule, I'm trying to understand where they said that the Cowboys and the Washington football team had the easiest schedules in the NFL. I don't know. Have you seen the Eagles' schedule? I guess unless they said, well, they got to play the Cowboys twice. The Cowboys are a good team. They got they got us. They got Green Bay, and I'm trying to think of who else on that schedule is really that bad on that schedule. That schedule is a cakewalk. I can see why Eagle fans are going crazy about the season. That's a pretty easy one. Now for us. The problem for us will be is, like Micah Gallup, they say he might miss the first 3 games, which means to me he's going to probably miss half the season. Technically, when you look at the schedule, here's the thing. They go by strength of schedule by what teams did last year. And the only way you say that has relevance is if you assume that every team is going to be in the exact same place that they were last year. That means a team like Cincinnati, who was in the Super Bowl, should be in the Super Bowl again this year, as opposed to the year before where they were like 6-10. See, that was a team when you looked at strength of schedule, you said, oh, we got Cincinnati on there. And if you played them twice, you go, oh, we got Cincinnati there twice. They were 6-10 the last 2 years. All of a sudden, they go to the Super Bowl. So, is Cincinnati the Super Bowl team, strength-wise, or is Cincinnati the Super Bowl hangover reverting back to where they were 2 years ago. And that makes a major difference in your strength of schedule. So for us to open up with Tampa Bay, at least we're at home. At least we're at home. And I think about this game, and I don't know. Tom Brady at some point has to hit the wall. Tom Brady probably doesn't have Gronk, which is a major blow. Tom Brady, Bruce Arians is retired or in the front office. The defense and this team is an aging team that's getting older. I don't know that they are as good as they were 2 years ago. Then we play Cincinnati. Cincinnati, of course, having just gone to the Super Bowl, typically what you see happens to NFC teams after they go to the Super Bowl is they definitely take steps back the next year. That trend is always there. It's been there for quite a while. You don't have teams, that usually, losing teams in the Super Bowl. You usually don't have teams that go back to back since Seattle. And, of course, New England, but that's a different story. Nobody's New England. So maybe Cincinnati takes a step back. Giants, the next week. That's a tough one. So in the first 6 weeks, if you go by what happened last year, we technically played 4 teams that were playoff teams in the first 6 games. That's truly the toughest part of our schedule. Down the road later on, you have space between, like the Eagles and space between like Tennessee and stuff. This schedule is not as bad as it could be. Like I said, the thing that bothers me about the schedule is having Washington. Week 18. God. It's been a tradition to tailgate Cowboys Washington. Always. And to have that the last week of the season, God. No! Yeah. Other thing, and this is where it really gets to be crazy. I was sitting here in my mind because, with COVID, we kind of lost a lot of time. 2 years, the last 2 seasons, I've not gone to Dallas for a game. And so I wanted to make up for it this year. So I talked about a couple things. One, of course, going to FedEx Field and doing the tailgate there. Now we find out it's the last damn game of the season. And 2, I was thinking about Tennessee, because Tennessee, okay, that's not that long of a drive. I mean, that's about, 10 hours. Do that. Tennessee ends up being right there, right there on New Year's Eve. New Year's freaking Eve, the week before the Washington game. I'm sorry, not New Year's Eve, New Year's night. Is that New Year's? Or no, Christmas, no, New Year's Eve. I think it's anyway, it's around New Year's. And the week before, we'd be doing the tailgate in Washington. And another one I was thinking about is, maybe Eagles Cowboys. And that's freaking Christmas Eve. It's like every game that I was like, these are ones I want to do. It's like the NFL screwed me. I'm not going to be able to do Christmas Eve in Dallas. I'm not going to be able to do New Year's Eve in Tennessee or New Year's Day. And then FedEx in January? Come on, NFL, what are you doing to me? I guess what I'm going to have to do is maybe go to New York week number 4. At least the weather will be a little bit warmer there. But for me, I look at this schedule. I'm not going to be like the Eagles and swear that we've won the division and we're going to the Super Bowl and everything else, and that we're the greatest team since sliced bread. I'm going to say I think that the Dallas Cowboys go 11-6. That's going to be my predictions. 11-6. I think we have the first part of the season is the worst part of it. But they've got a lot of games going down the stretch that they can win. You think about having the Texans, the Jaguars, the Giants down the road and stuff. You've got, I don't know what kind of team the Colts will be. Tennessee seems to have a little bit of turmoil and losing A.J. Brown and stuff. You think about the Lions. You think about the Bears. There's a bunch of games in there that Cowboys could win. So we'll see how it goes. I think the Cowboys have a good chance to maybe do something nobody else has done. They can take care of business against the Eagles. And with my quarterback, who is 25-6 in the division, it's possible. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'm kind of tired, as you can see, with me yawning. Got a lot of work I've been doing in the workshop today and trying to get this house